Hey guys, welcome to the vlog review for Mad Max Fury Road. I've got Delrith with me on one end, I got Angerbeard with me on the other. Joe is at work right now, so we're probably going to take him to see it afterwards, get his opinion on it as well. But for right now, I just wanted to put up my opinion of this particular one. And so, I mean... When I was watching the movie, that first sequence, they sort of introduced Mad Max really quick, and he's chased immediately, right? Yep. But that first sequence, you're sitting in the theater like this, and then after this whole first sequence is over, I let out an audible.
Yeah, it kicks it in the high gear really fast.
I mean, the action in this movie is like fucking non-stop, fucking intense at the beginning. It was filmed so creatively. The cinematography, the colors. It was really, really cool. What did you think?
It reminded me of the old Mad Maxes.
Did? Like I think it was more stylized than that.
Well, yeah. I could tell they were trying to bring it back to the way it was. And they caught a lot of nostalgia that way. Because like the different cameras, like the really close-in ones on the dude jumping around, that was just like the old Mad Max.
Yeah, so if y'all remember the trailer from 1 year ago where they had the classical music and it was just pumping, the movie delivers, okay? I was like, there's no way that much action's in it. It's all put together from different parts. No. It is there. Like the 80% of this movie's action. So if you like fucking cars, modified cars, spikes, explosions, post-war, post-apocalyptic stuff, and the world of Mad Max, not just Mad Max himself, but the world of Mad Max and surviving, you're gonna freaking love this film.
It's Fallout the movie.
And like you said, the Mad Max, you felt it was trying to bring it back to some of the originals. Well, the reason why is because it's written and directed by George Miller, the guy that did Mad Max. So, and a lot of people forget that. So it's a story written by George Miller. Now we had Tom Hardy as Mad Max. What do you think of Tom Hardy as Mad Max? As compared to Mel Gibson, I mean...
Well, compared to Mel Gibson...
It's hard to compare.
I liked him, though. He fit the part. He was very quiet, very stern in how he did things.
Man of few words,
and he projected manliness. He projected manliness. I liked it.
He really did.
Most of his talking is done with small movements. I loved it. It was manly as hell. For me, a superior Mad Max is Mel Gibson. I gotta give it to him. I don't know, whatever you think of Mel now with the craziness that's happened recently, or well, not too recently, but man, that boy could act, boy. Back in Mad Max, he had this whole range of emotions. I felt Tom Hardy was kind of about one mode. One or two modes, and I didn't see that same range from his character. Of course, it did seem like they had him a lot more quiet, even though the original Mad Max movie, the lower budget one, that maybe not a lot of people see, he was very quiet in that as well. He
had a Tom Cruise sort of acting where you just have that one... sort of a villain.
Tom Cruise. No, more like Chuck Norris has
Chuck Norris, but no, Cruise just has like one face. Yeah. He's like one face. He has Keanu too. Keanu has like one face.
Yeah, so we liked Mad Max. What did you think about Mad Max?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
He nailed it?
He did.
Okay. And all right, and then we have Charlie. Here's where I was a little surprised. Like I saw Charlize Theron as the Imperator. I forget her actual name, Imperatus something. Furiosa. How can I forget that? I remember that. And so, I saw her in the trailer a little bit. I didn't expect that we'd get a whole bunch of her, but this is kind of, they're on equal footing. Yeah. It's a good amount of, because of the fact that Max doesn't really talk very much, she kind of fills in.
She does all the talking.
Some of the grunt a lot.
He does grunt.
He
grunts and emotions. But what do you think of the Furiosa character?
Furiosa. I liked her. She felt more on par with Max. Like when I first saw her, I thought, oh, he's gonna be saving her and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
But she was holding her own. She was kicking some ass.
Yeah. What do you think?
She was kicking some ass, and I like the way they portrayed her. She was very strong, very, willing to do what needed to get done. And honestly, she didn't mind getting fucked up to do it a lot of the time either.
It makes sense. If you're going to be a general or an imperator in this universe, then you have to be ruthless. You could tell that she was looking for redemption herself. Yep. So you can stand to say that she had probably done some pretty fucked up things in order to get that position. But I liked how she was down and dirty, basically did whatever is necessary, like you said. The Mad Max world, I always felt like Mad Max was like the fucking coolest and nobody was really on his level. Furiosa, I felt like she would do whatever Max would do for the people that she cares about. And even though Max likes to play it off in this movie like he doesn't give a shit about people, he makes his own way, it's very clear, just like in the originals, the dude has a big heart, and so he ends up helping her, and they work together to achieve their goals. So I thought that the acting was all around really well done. The two leads, I would call this like, there's not a single lead. So if you're going into this film thinking it's Mad Max and this is a revenge story, this dude wronged me and I'm a dude and you, how dare you, and I'm gonna just kill you and nothing else is involved, you're gonna be disappointed because this movie has two roles. It's got the Furiosa and Mad Max working together. Now, the world that they set up here, I did not expect that much characterization, sort of mythology that they've injected in here. It's so cool that there are clearly different factions, even different factions, more organized, more interesting, and unique than ever before in the Mad Max universe, and it sets up the game perfectly. Now, I wasn't all that interested in the game that WB's releasing. It's an open world game. Yep. But after seeing this movie, I'm like, okay, if they put some of that shit in the game, I want to go in this open world and get in this game.
I just want the cars.
Oh, the cars!
I want the cars.
These fucking action vehicles that they've created for this film, you should go to see the film just for that. Cars, because these things are amazing, and whoever put these things together deserves a raise, and he needs to do more of that shit. Hopefully we see more in the Mad Max series.
I mean, the cars themselves are pretty much characters.
Yeah.
You can't have Mad Max without the cars.
Exactly. And why the cars are so important, we'll talk about how badass they are, but why they're so important in this film, and what was surprising is Fury Road, that subtitle makes sense because this movie is almost entirely filmed on a road, okay? Yep. It's basically, if you took the scene in Mad Max 2, right? Yeah. Where they are escaping with the semi and made an entire movie around it, it was fucking awesome. This actually was the Road Warrior. We saw wars on the fucking road and crazy ass shit with fucking sandstorms, lightning, fucking tornadoes, I just love all the weapons in this world, because they're all specially designed to either disable vehicles or blow up vehicles.
And they're all hodgepodge together from random stuff,
It's so cool. And then they got these swinging around on fucking poles
with engine blocks on the end of them.
To pick up
the
dudes.
Counterweight.
Remove dudes from vehicles and capture people, and it makes sense within this world. And I just love the mythology that they've created. And in order to control his people, Immortan Joe or something like that. It was Immortan Joe has created this almost Viking lore so that he can control his people, and he's got his war dogs, right? Or no, war boys. War boys, like fucking Warhammer. I was like, oh yeah, that's awesome. Except for instead of green skin, they paint themselves white with black in their eyes, and they cut themselves up with tattoos, and they all think that if they die on the road fighting, that they'll go to Valhalla, and it's just, oh my god, this movie, the testosterone is pumping through the roof. Really There's so much badass shit. So everybody who's fighting out on the road for this Joe character are going balls to the wall because they want to die in glorious battle to go to Valhalla. So it makes the action sequences so much better.
Like the part where they know they're gonna die, so to prepare themselves.
No.
Like any of them that they die.
Oh, that's right.
They spray their mouths with chrome, and they say, "I'm chromed up for Valhalla."
Fuck yeah, that mechanic or not mechanic. I'm thinking I'm reviewing reviewing a game. That aspect of the lore within Joe's faction is so cool. It leads to so many awesome scenes in the movie, and we're not going to spoil them for you, but that's so awesome.
That happens so much. It's like all the time.
I was like, I would never spray myself, but it's like, if I'm going to fucking die, whatever.
Well, they don't even know what that is. They're in a society, they think that's just, godly purpose right there.
Yeah. They
do that. They're like, all right, let's do this.
They just kill themselves.
They just put so much effort into that. The little details. They put so much effort into.
So there's clearly multiple factions. We've got Joe's faction, Parenton Joe. What was it again? Immortan. Immortan Joe has his own faction of war boys, and then there are different towns. Okay, so the basic story is that Joe needs what does he need? Bullets and fuel. Yep. Just like in this world. So there's a bullet town, literally bullet town, and literally gas town.
Yeah.
And they are controlled by people I believe are his brothers.
Yeah.
And so there's this sort of family this whole family idea behind this movie where I guess his brothers are in charge of Bullet Town and Gas Town, and they trade occasionally. Well, what does Joe trade with in order to get bullets and gasolines? Well, Joe's got water, food, and he's also got
breast milk.
Who the fuck wouldn't want breast milk in the post-apocalyptic world, man?
So good.
Milk does a body good, right? So that's what Joe's got plenty of. So he takes this big tanker, and Furiosa is in charge of this basic exchange between the different factions, and obviously it goes wrong. She decides to hijack the whole thing, defy her master, and help these women escape. And because Joe treats them as his property, there's a lot of "you're my property."
He calls them breeders.
Breeders, right. So God knows what Joe does with those, or if he shares those women with people. Who knows? I have no idea. But basically the women had enough, and Furiosa helped them out to go and escape, and that sets up the storyline, and they give chase. Joe's fucking pissed. So this entire movie is basically on the road with Joe's forces chasing down Mad Max, Furiosa, and his brides. And just the shit in this movie that happens in this movie is incredible. I thought it was well acted, well filmed, cinematography. You can see everything. Yeah. No, it would have been so easy to do shaky cam bullshit on cars, right? But they didn't. Everything is so clear. And
the only shaky cam that I saw was when they were going straight at the face. You could still see everything, but they were showing that they're bumping around.
Oh yeah.
But other than that, no.
Yeah, it was great, and Joe's design looks so cool. He's got
he was sinister.
This fucking awesome mask, and he's got clear shield or clear armor that maybe keeps his body protected because he's all fucked. Because people in this world, I guess from nuclear fallout or something, have growths on them and things like that. And Joe's really fucked up in that manner. So, so because and there are other factions besides Joe's extended family, Bullet Town and Gas Town. There's the men of the mountain that you'll meet that ride motorcycles, and they sort of control the path between areas. And there are Desert Raider kind of guys. They looked almost exact. I mean, Star Wars called, and they want their fucking Tusken Raiders back.
Yeah. Sand people.
Somebody gonna get sued over the Sand People in this. So that's a rival faction.
The
Mini Mothers. We eventually meet a faction of the Mini Mothers. How they factor into the story, that's something that you'll find out. But so what else? What else could we talk about in the movie?
Special effects were fucking amazing.
Yeah.
The stunt work in this movie is so great.
So crazy.
I mean, I could tell a few times that those were CGI dudes falling on the ground, but there were times where I was like, that looks like an actual fucking dude falling off.
Actor, yeah.
I was like, damn, man, that guy got fucked.
I think they were doing green screen mats, like green stunt mats with backgrounds, because a lot of it, when they were driving, you could tell it was CGI. But there were real people jumping off of fucking
and
trucks
slamming into shit.
Slamming into stuff. Or the part with the pole, they were actually on the pole, and I was like, holy shit.
And all those but the actual vehicles themselves were all real, and I was so thankful for that, because it would have been so easy for them to go overboard and done CGI vehicles and shit like that.
No, it was a lot of conventional effects.
Yeah.
When you see those vehicles collide into each other,
it feels real. It feels awesome.
It hit me here.
It's perfect. So there's a lot of people on the internet right now that is like, oh, this is fucking feminist propaganda because Furiosa is in the movie and it's not all about Mad Max and how dare she be able to fight on equal level in this world? Women should be.
You want to talk about being manly? There's a dude with a car that's a giant subwoofer.
Yes!
And he's got a fucking electric guitar that shoots flames.
Yeah.
And you're telling me that's not manly?
You're telling me this movie's feminist propaganda?
Okay.
That was specifically for guys. And because, well, there are women out there that love heavy metal, but dude, this dude comes out. And I was like, dude, they actually believe in this stuff. They got battle music and war drums
on the
and
back
shit.
of the subwoofer.
It's so funny to me that they devote gasoline resources to creating these morale boosting cars that drive alongside their war
This
parties.
wasn't just a car. This is like a bus.
I love this universe.
It was a party bus. That's what it was. Yeah.
And no wonder companies like Games Workshops, who have created Warhammer 40K, also did a long time ago some like car wars and shit like that, where because this world is so ripe for that kind of stuff, this outrageousness. And I'm glad that it was stylized and they were able to just say, "Fuck it, let's throw this guy playing the guitar," because obviously that's not realistic. But I like that.
It's amazing.
That whole thing.
It helps solidify the world because it's crazy.
It is
the
just
world
awesome.
is crazy, and that right there just goes. Well, it's fucking.
And
nuts.
in this world, women are property, so I don't
Yeah.
see how this is somehow.
I mean, to put it into perspective, which how I think this isn't feminist is, they have like this scene where there's like 20 women hooked up to milking machines, chained to the fucking wall. And yet it's like, no. See, they're promoting women with that. That's what's
I
going on.
think there is these trolls or whatever that are trying to blow it out of proportion.
Oh, yeah.
How dare these women break out of these situations and try to gain rights for themselves?
How dare they want freedom?
I don't know. We'll talk more about that in the post-spoilers discussion because this isn't a feminist propaganda film. It's just a badass fucking action film that you need to see. If you're a guy, you're gonna love this shit. If you're a girl, you're gonna love this shit because you're seeing a female heroine, because Furiosa could be considered a hero, and she kicks fucking ass.
Yeah, she does.
And it's interesting to me to see Mad Max not just be this single character that's alone all the time. In this film, he gets support from her and sort of the help that he needs from time to time. And together, they always achieve more when overwhelming odds. Because literally, it's Mad Max, Furiosa, a bunch of brides. and versus an entire war band. So they need each other, they need help, and it was an awesome movie. So I guess let's go to final verdicts. Who wants to start? You want to grab a final verdict for this movie? No, but let's talk about negatives first. I always jump the gun a little bit. So we gushed about the movie for you, but let's talk a little bit about negatives. What did you feel was weak in the movie?
I felt like the plot, or not the plot, but the story was a little bit weak, in my opinion, because like. You knew where they were going. They were trying to find like this one place that they wanted to get to, and they go all the way there. And it just along
the green fields.
Yeah, the green fields or whatever it was. But it was like I knew they were going there, and I expected some big climax or something. And you never really get to that point because the whole
climax,
the whole point is the whole thing is like a plateau where it's just action. So you expect like something crazy is going to happen.
A set piece or something that's like awe-inspiring.
But no, it just kind of slowly winds down. And it doesn't ever go like, it's going flat and it doesn't just go bam, big action and then, action. And so I felt like it needed a climax. So
you felt like the payoff for this green garden wasn't quite there. Their ultimate goals.
Where?
Yeah. So we did feel like the story, and I'm actually gonna kind of agree with them to a certain extent that the story was weaker. There should have been something extra towards the end, but I think that the reason why it was done like this, and maybe why you guys might appreciate a little bit later if you think about it more, is that this is a tough world, okay? There are no easy answers. There's no fucking amazing, goal to get to, and the harsh reality of life is is apparent in this world,
Yeah.
and it's grim. It's not fucking happy. It's not necessarily all that happy of an ending, and you kind of wish that there was, you know, some huge set piece at the end, but there's not. And it sort of follows through to its conclusion within the world, and it doesn't feel outrageous or anything, because, you know, it's this Earth is super fucked up. We have no idea what happened. I mean, it's got to be nuclear bombs or something like that, but obviously the soil is shit, and everything is falling apart, and they're looking for a promised land that may just not be there.
At the beginning of the movie, they do say, you know, they start talking about the oil wars. Why are we fighting? We're fighting for oil. And then they talk about the water wars. You know, we're fighting for water. There's no water left. Mm-hmm. And then they cut to the news thing where they're like, nuclear bombs have been dropped.
Okay, so I might have been in the bathroom.
They touched on it briefly.
Yeah, they did touch it.
Okay, cool. So yeah, the world got fucked up by nuclear bombs, and so yeah. So I mean, there are certain. It makes sense that in the world there may be like underground aquifers, so there's still some water, and whoever controls these areas become warlords, become powerful in this particular world. It's a fantastic movie. I highly recommend you check it out. Let's get some final verdicts. Del?
I give it an 8.
8 out of 10?
I give it an 8, yeah.
Okay. And what about you?
I'd give it a 9.
AngryBeard. Give it a 9 out of 10.
9.
I would go ahead, and I'm also going to give it a 9 out of 10. We've been seeing some really good movies lately.
Yeah.
Really good movies.
Avengers, great movie. Mad Max Fury Road, high recommendation, 9 out of 10. And the reason why is, you know, I don't see a whole lot of these types of super stylized movies, these post-apocalyptic things that are done right. There's always something that they sort of fuck up on, or they cheap out on. It just feels balls to the wall the whole time. Mad Max is a badass, and it's also good that we see, you know, women also getting their due, saying fuck you guys, let's fight back. And so that's awesome as well.
Can't just everyone kill everyone and everyone be happy about it?
That's what would happen in the world.
Yeah.
That's why there's that female faction in there.
Exactly.
They kill fuck. She's like, every person I've ever met I've killed.
Everyone kills everyone. There's no gender differences.
Yeah,
exactly.
Kill everyone.
The movie is a lot of fun though.
Yes,
If
high
you're looking
recommendation.
for a good popcorn movie, oh my god, this is the perfect popcorn movie to go see.
Definitely. So check out Mad Max Fury Road. We think it's excellent. And join us in the post-review spoilers discussion. A lot of good stuff that we can talk about there. All right, we'll see you guys on the next Angry Joe Show.
The